this Ramadan.
Welcome back. You're still with Salam Media, your Ramadan companion. Well, Ramadan and beyond, I hope. And right now, this is my favorite segment, and I think a very, very popular segment. I think with everyone that's been listening to it, fired up with Hafiz Imraan Choonara, is the CEO of Africa Muslims Agency, and today we'll be discussing mental toughness. Imraan, take it away.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And of course, welcome again to all the listeners of Salam Media and of course, viewing us online as well. So yes, today is mental toughness, of course. Now, most people hear the word mental toughness and have really no idea what it means, or even if they have an idea of maybe what they think it means, they have no idea how to develop it. Now, mental toughness, let me give you perspective. Have you ever met people who you meet them and they just always, in every situation, they just, doesn't mean they don't get stressed, doesn't mean things don't bother them, doesn't mean things doesn't affect them, but they come out calm, collected, calculated, they understand. You wonder how they get through stuff. Because sometimes there's difficult situations in life that affect, of course, all of us, and it destroys some people, and yet other people rise to the challenge. And the difference is mental toughness. Yes, there's lots of other differences too, but one of them, and a very powerful one, is mental toughness. Now, write this down if you're taking notes. Mental toughness is right thinking under pressure. When you're under pressure, how do you think? How tough are you mentally under pressure? The right thinking under pressure. Now, it's easy to say, right? Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Let's think right under pressure. Okay, have you ever been under pressure? Under stress? Things going on in your life, things going wrong? Happens to all of us at different times of our lives, in different areas of our lives. So it's not easy to say, not easy to do, of course. You have to train. See, your mind is like a muscle, like a physical muscle, and the reason mental toughness, have you ever thought about it? Physical toughness, physical strength. How do you train your body physically? You go to the gym, you run, you work out. You go through pain to train your body physically that makes you physically tough, physically strong. If you lift weights, how do you build your body up over time? You don't go into the gym and lift the heaviest weight around. That's silly. You hurt yourself. What do? You lift smaller weights over time. You run smaller distances if you're a runner. Over time, it gets better and better. You strengthen yourself over time by overcoming the small pain, the small difficulty in the light weights until you get heavy and heavy and heavy. And one day, if you continue and you're consistent with that physical ability, you are able to lift heavy weights, run long distances, etc. That's physical toughness, right? Physical strength. So the same with mental toughness. How do you develop it? It's how do you think, even in the small situations? You got to train yourself over time. Mental toughness doesn't happen overnight. But when you have small pains in your life, small difficulties, small challenges, how you think, do you think positively about the challenge that's facing you? And it can be a small challenge. You see, if you think wrongly or you don't think in a mentally tough manner, even with the small challenges, and you face with a massive big challenge one day in some area of your life, it will destroy you the same way about lifting a heavy weight without training first, right? So mental toughness is the same thing. Don't take your life for granted. Don't take small things for granted. Small things that happen in your life that stress you out, put pressure on you. Think carefully, stop, evaluate. How am I thinking about this issue in my life? Even though it might be a small thing. Someone might cut you off in front of you on the traffic. It's a small thing. How do you think about it? Do you immediately go into blaming and anger and whatever? That's not mental toughness. So you train yourself on the small things. So when the big things happen in life, you'll be mentally tough and you'll know how to think right under pressure. Now, let me wrap up with a couple of thoughts here. Because you see, like physical strength has to be built, mental strength has to be built over time. How do we admire someone who can lift heavy stuff, who can run long distance? We admire them. So the same way we admire people who are mentally tough, isn't it? Who are calm and collected, even in the most difficult situations. People lose their money, people go bankrupt, people lose their relationships, divorce, kids go through stuff, people suffer with health issues, etc. And yet, it doesn't mean they don't feel it, does not mean they don't pain. You see, when you're lifting heavy weights at the gym, you still pain, but you're stronger for it. So the same way doesn't mean those people do not hurt. They hurt, but they think right under pressure. And as they think about those things and they grow through it, they become tougher and tougher. Okay, now, one of the ways to avoid or to stop, let me give this to you. Let me just take a step back for a second. You see, like being physically strong, people who are physically weak. So if you don't go to the gym, if you don't train, if you don't run, if you don't do any physical activity to exercise, over time you become physically weak. You become a weak person. And then compare that to a tough person or strong person, there's a massive difference, right? So mentally, if you don't train yourself, you become mentally weak. You become a weak person mentally. And then any little issue destroys you. Let me give you a simple way, because I know you're sitting there thinking, yeah, but Imran, what could destroy mental toughness? Let me tell you. What's the junk food? For someone who wants to build physical strength in the gym or running, you advise them not to eat junk food, right? What's the junk food of the mind? Because the junk food of your body might be burgers, pizzas every single day of your life. It's not healthy. You can't become physically tough. How will you not become mentally tough? Is junk food of the mind. What's the junk food of the mind? Here's the biggest junk food of the mind: gossip. Gossip is the biggest thing that will weaken your mind. Be careful. Now, I can spend a whole segment on that. We'll talk about that some other time in the next few weeks. But I want to leave you with this thought. It takes two people to gossip. So don't sit there saying, oh, yeah, all these people who gossip. If you are on the receiving end of gossip, it's because you allowed it. If you involve yourself in gossip, folks, you become mentally weak over time. And then when there's pressure in your life, you can't handle it because you're going around and around in your head with gossip. Mental toughness. See you guys tomorrow.
There we go. That was Hafiz Imraan Choonara there. If that's not the best way to start your day, I don't know what is. Thank you so much, Hafiz. And you can tune in to Fire It Up again tomorrow. It's an everyday segment, a segment that has become a favorite here at the studio. And I know for me, and I know for you, the viewers, also take a moment, listen to it, go back to it. There are podcasts of it, there are videos of it on social media. Hashtag Fire It Up. Look for it, and I'm sure you'll find it. And there are very, very important nuggets of wisdom that Hafiz Imraan Choonara there from African Muslims Agency is dropping. We're going to take a quick break. Well, we're not taking a quick break, rather. We're wrapping up the show. Time goes by so quick when you're having fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed the show with you today. Tomorrow, Zahira Bam will be back with you. She's currently in Cape Town. She's interviewing a very important guest. Keep your eyes and ears glued up to Salam Media to see who she's talking to and what they're talking about. But I'm pretty sure you're going to be enjoying that interview. But I think from me, the rest of the team, Kolane, Alexis behind the board, we're going to be living it here until we meet again. Assalamu alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Goodbye.
This Ramadan.
Searching for elite local and international investment and advisory services from an award-winning firm? Look no further than the Belmont Mayer Group, your gateway to unparalleled investment and wealth management. At Belmont Mayer, we believe in the art of wealth creation, a meticulous process fueled by our unwavering commitment to excellence, with a focus on providing elite alternative investments and quality advice. We also pride ourselves on maximizing value for our esteemed investors, as through our consistent outperformance, your financial success